Ever wondered why cancer treatments cost so much? It's a question on many people's minds, especially here in Canada. Let's take a closer look at the complex world of cancer care, pharmaceuticals, and the economics that drive them. First, it's important to understand that developing a new drug is an incredibly long and expensive journey. It can take over a decade and cost billions of dollars. Companies conduct extensive research, run multiple phases of clinical trials to ensure a drug is safe and effective, and navigate a rigorous approval process. In Canada, that's handled by Health Canada. These high upfront costs are a major reason why new cancer medications come with such a high price tag. The pharmaceutical companies need to recoup their investment and fund future research for the next breakthrough. Once a drug is approved, another layer of negotiation begins. The Patented Medicine Prices Review Board, or PMPRB, is a federal agency in Canada that ensures the prices of patented medicines sold here are not excessive. They look at prices in other comparable countries to set a ceiling. After that, the Canadian Agency for Drugs and Technologies in Health, or CADTH, evaluates the drug's clinical and cost effectiveness. They ask, does this new treatment provide real value for its price compared to existing options? Their recommendations heavily influence whether provincial and territorial drug plans will cover the cost of the medication. So, even with our public healthcare system, access isn't always straightforward. Each province and territory decides which drugs to include in its public formulary. This can lead to what's often called a postal code lottery, where your access to a specific life-saving drug might depend on where you live in Canada. If a drug isn't covered, patients might have to rely on private insurance or pay out of pocket, which can be financially devastating. This system creates a delicate balance. On one hand, pharmaceutical companies are businesses that need to be profitable to innovate and create new treatments. Their research has led to incredible advancements, turning many cancers from a death sentence into a manageable chronic condition. We've seen survival rates for many types of cancer improve dramatically over the past few decades, thanks in large part to these new therapies. On the other hand, the high cost of these drugs puts immense strain on our public healthcare system and on individual families. There's an ongoing public conversation about whether the prices are truly justified by the research and development costs, or if profit margins are too high. Advocacy groups and policymakers are constantly debating how to make these essential medicines more affordable and accessible for all Canadians who need them, without stifling the innovation that saves lives. It's also worth noting the role of generics. Once a drug's patent expires, other companies can produce generic versions. This competition typically drives prices down significantly, making treatment more affordable. However, for the newest, most advanced treatments, we're often years away from a generic equivalent being available. The economics of cancer care in Canada are complicated. It involves a web of researchers, pharmaceutical companies, government regulators, healthcare providers, and, most importantly, patients and their families. It's a system built on the need to balance life-saving innovation with sustainable public spending and equitable access for everyone. Understanding these dynamics is the first step toward advocating for a better system. It's about finding that sweet spot where we can continue to encourage groundbreaking research while ensuring that every Canadian facing a cancer diagnosis has access to the best possible care, regardless of their income or where they live. If you or someone you know is struggling with the emotional or financial stress of a cancer diagnosis, please know that help is available. Organizations like the Canadian Cancer Society offer support programs, information, and resources. You are not alone. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more content that dives deep into the topics that matter.